Hey, this is Mike from RMS Laser Group. We're taking off a boat logo today, and we're going to be replacing it. I'm going to show you how to do both of them, but what you really need to have is a heat gun here. You're just going to heat up the area. That's assuming this isn't paint. If it's paint, you're going to have a little more difficulty getting them off. This is just an old sticker. So we kind of heat up the area here. They make it soft, otherwise they're very brittle and will break into tons of little pieces, which is still going to break into pieces, but we can get them off. Take a nice clean new razor blade, slide it underneath a little bit, and you can see how quickly it broke. So we're just going to
Is it a plastic razor blade?
No, this is a metal one.
Okay.
You can use a plastic one if you're afraid, but if you keep it flat, you won't gouge your bow. And you can see it just get underneath the sticker and remove the sticker. Let's try and do a little piece here. If you get a nice piece going, hopefully you can just pick it. And since you've heated it up, you should be able to just pull it right off. All right, I'm going to come back and show you how to get the rest of the residue off in a few minutes here after I go ahead and get the rest of this boat done. See you in a few. All right, part two. You can see we've removed the decal, but you can see there's all the sticky residue that's still there. Gooby gone. Spray it all over it. You're gonna let it sit for a few minutes, do its work. You don't need to rush. So go ahead and soak it on there for a minute. Get a rag down here if you want. The other nice thing they have is Mr. Magic Eraser. The Magic Erasers were really good. It also is good to keep feeding up your Gooby gun. You don't need it running all the way down your boat where you're not using it. Okay, so we're just going to let that sit for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and show you how easy it is to remove the spooge. And then this also is a great way, in case you didn't know, if you get little ding marks on your boat.
The Magic Eraser.
Magic Eraser takes them right out. This one's dry, so you get a little water on there, works even better. But a great way to just remove any little boat dings. Look at that, it's gone. Okay, see you in a few. Okay, so the Gooby gun's been sitting on it for a bit. You can see I already got rid of one of the logos real quickly, but really all you have to do is just bring your blade on here, and you can see how fast it comes right off. Look at that, it just comes right off, and it scoops up on the blade. So you can see all of it's on the blade now. So you grab that, get a paper towel, because you're going to throw this away. Don't put it on a rag, and just boom. Look at how fast that comes off. Absolutely gorgeous. We just keep going here. And again, keep your blade flat to the boat so that you're not gouging the boat. You're not coming straight in, you're coming at a big angle on the boat. And you can see it just pulls it off, just pulls it off. Again, look at all that goop that came off. And we'll just finish this up real quick, and then later we'll show you how to put your new decals on your boat. So look at that, just instantly, and you can barely even see that it was there. That last decal we put on 10 years ago, and that's about how long they last, is about 10 years. We can do multiple colors, so it's not colored vinyl, it's actually a printed vinyl with a UV protected laminate that we put on top of them before we give them to you. So when you put them on, it's got UV protection on it. It's a little bit thicker. They hold up really well. See you in a bit. Okay, hey, good morning. We're getting ready to install the new decals on the boat. Your decals will come in a flat pack like this. So basically you're going to open them up and you'll see that they're ready to go with the release liner on them. We're going to put a nice bead of tape along here, tape it on the boat, step back, make sure everything's nice and level before we finish the application. This is the most critical part. You need to make sure it's level, make sure your boat's not tweaked so that you're balancing it, so you don't use a level, you use parts off of the boat to measure and check your levelness to the boat, not the condition of your boat when you're installing it. See you soon. All right, we're getting close here. I've already prepped and cleaned this area. I used the Magic Eraser to remove any oxidation from this area. I've cleaned it with some rubbing alcohol to pull any wax. So it's always best if you put these on before you wax. You'll get a better bite than trying to stick your decal to wax. I'll be back in a minute and show you how I've mounted this up to get it ready. See you soon. Okay, so you can see I've used electrical tape here for placement. This is good because it's pretty sticky and stays on. Masking tape might not be as good for this part. What you're looking to do is I'm using this line of the boat to balance my sticker, okay? It will be in relation to the boat. Now, my sticker has a high spot, and then a low off. So I'm gonna measure here and here. So what I'm looking for is about 1 3/4. 1 3/4. I am pretty freaking close, and that's good enough. We supply you with one of these, which is an applicator. I'm now going to put my tape along this line, which is going to give my release liner something to bite to and give me the flip up, which you will see in a minute. Making sure it stays on. I really want this seam to be able to fold up nicely when I lift off the active sticker. Okay? Okay, you can see that's there. This part is actually really easy. What you're going to do is you're going to put a seam along here, nice and tight. That gives us our pivot point for rotating up the decal. I'm then going to release my liner, holding this up the whole time. Okay, now it's ready to go. I'm slowly going to come in here and start to push this down equally. So I kind of let it set down a little bit like this. I'm able to feed these down, going a little bit at a time and always kind of pushing out from the center so that I don't get bubbles and have a separation. Okay. Now that I've got the decal on, I'm just going to go through and really kind of rub it on. Rub it on. It's a nice padded, but your sticker is still very protected by the mask. So don't be afraid to push a little hard. Make sure you've got no bubbles in here. Get everything. See how I pulled it away? Pulling it away so that any bubbles that are in there are able to be minimized. I'm then going to come along here one more time, making sure I get all these corners, all these little corners, serifs, if you will. It depends on your logo. You know, you could have a very detailed logo with lots of little pieces. We try and keep them pretty standard there. All right, now we're done. How's it look? Oh, wait, I gotta take off the back, that's right. So we're gonna go ahead and pull, we can actually just pull up from here. Just pull nice and slow. If your decal starts to lift, just lay it back down and press it in some more. Okay, see how I'm kind of pulling along the decal and not the edge? Let me go ahead and rip this off. This masking tape stuck really well. The blue tape is good, but it's not nearly as aggressive. Go ahead and walk by, you're good.
I don't want to interrupt your filming. Besides, it's pretty interesting.
Okay, and we're just going to kind of keep pulling this up. And again, now I'm pulling down away from the, okay, and we just pull it over. And it's done. Look at that. Came out beautiful. Now we're just going to go along this one more time, just kind of check it out. You can see there's a foam pad on here. I'm not really pushing hard. I'm just kind of making sure I didn't lift any corners of the, and I'm pushing up on those, out on that, down. Make sure you don't want to be biting into it yet. It does take some time for the adhesives to final cure. And look at that. We're done.